Check it out right here and right now. We are going to show you guys how to keep your truck running cooler, feeling cooler, and sounding cooler by putting in Thermo-Guard carpet padding and also their supersonic acoustical mat.
Ooh, that sounds like hand system.
That is.
But it's gonna keep the sound out, right?
That's the idea.
Okay. But we ain't gonna do this.
Well, who's going to do the work?
Since we have a Donnie,
Oh,
he's gonna do the work.
okay.
You got a what? Hey, Donnie, how you doing, buddy? I got done.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Donnie, and I'm going to show you guys how to install Thermo Tec's Cool-It sound deadening material today.
All right, today we're going to go over how to install this Thermo Tec Cool-It sound deadening material. So the sound deadening material basically does exactly what it says. Sound deadens any road noise, exterior noise from your vehicle, makes a nice quiet insulated sound on the interior. Right here you're looking at an unprepped finished floor with the carpet removed and obviously the seats, etc. You can see it's pretty full of debris and stuff. We're going to clean all that off. Anything that's stuck, anything that's going to keep the Cool-It matting from good adhesion to the floor and any panels where you're going to stick it. Right here you want to just finish moving any extra pieces and parts, wiring, make sure that stuff's out of the way of any grinding tools. As you can see here, I'm using a nylon type brush. Any tools will work, anything you have, as long as you don't have something that takes out too much material. We just want to remove the top layer of old glue and debris from original carpet and padding. So you don't want to go too deep. We don't need to take it to bare metal. Various tools I use. This was a grinder. I have an air grinder that has a different application. It's just for different areas and different contours of the floor. It makes it a little bit easier to clean up those corners and those hard to reach places so that you can get the proper adhesion of the Thermo Tec Cool-It. After you get done with your grinding and prepping, you want to clean it up real well. So I do a rough cleanup with a vacuum. I've taken some rough measurements and get an idea of how big of pieces I want to use and utilize the material I have properly. I want to get the most bang for my buck, obviously. I don't want to waste any. After measuring and cutting, you can check the placement of your cut pieces. As you're applying it, you want to do a little bit of a time, and you can peel the backer off a little bit. That way you don't get too much material out there. We're going to continue to work it with the roller all through the contours and corners of the floor. I think the key in this portion of the application is to be patient with the process and placement of the material. You want to do a little bit of a time and don't work too fast. It's just a learning curve. After you're happy with your application, you want to transfer any mounting holes for the equipment that's going to go back in the vehicle, like seats, seat belts, etc. You want to cut out any areas that you may need access to in the future. You can use any various ways of doing that, knife, hole saw, things of that nature. Now, moving forward with the process of installing the Thermo Tec Cool-It, we're going to do the doors inside of the door panel to deaden that sound area. First we're going to take some measurements, get an idea of what we can fit. This is a tight application. Keep in mind your layout and where you want to apply your material. That way you know how much material you're going to need and that you're not wasting too much or using too much in one area. So since these particular applications are going to be roughly just a rectangular shape, I'm using a straight edge here to make sure I have a good clean straight line. I want to use a razor knife against a nice hard back surface. So I like to follow back through my cuts just to make sure that I'm through all of the backing of the material. That way when I try to separate it, it doesn't peel the backing off. So before applying this, we need to prep the surface once again. We're going to clean it with some solvent. This is going to go inside the door, so it's a very small area of access. This time we're going to go ahead and remove the entire backer off of the piece only because we don't have access inside this door to work it slowly. If you have some help, it's not going to hurt to have a second set of hands to help you get it in the right place. And here my assistant is Tom McWeeny, or Peaches.
Just to give you guys a little idea of how good this stuff works, I'm going to tap on the door. This door doesn't have it installed yet. Then we're going to go to the other side and tap on the door that has it installed. Now this is the driver's side where we installed it already. So hear how dead that is compared to the other side.
Here I'm using a kick panel speaker for the template. basically for the kick panel at your left or right side, driver's side or passenger side foot area. It's real easy to use this as a template and get an idea for the size of this piece of material. As you can see, I'm doing this last because it's the smallest piece and I want to make sure we got the bigger areas done first. So just trace it out, and then I cut it down a little bit smaller than the actual traced out size, which here I've already cut it out, and we're going to work that section out. This is a rough idea. Doesn't have to be perfect again, it just needs to be easily applicable. So you want to prep it again with your solvent, wipe it down, make sure you're clean of any debris, and so you get good adhesion. As you can see, this is the panel I cut out using the template of the kick panel. I cut it a little bit small. You'll notice it's just slightly smaller than the edge of the door kick area so that we can get a good seal. Roughly place it like we did before, and then go back over it with the rollers, just like in the floor and the door panels.
Well, it's beer 30 for me, but I had a blast showing you guys how to install Thermo Tec's Cool-It sound deadening material. So now that I'm finished, Marcel's going to show you how Thermo-Guard installation works with the carpet kit from Brothers Truck Parts.
So Donnie said that I'm going to install all this stuff, and man, I don't know anything about upholstery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the truck over to 714 Motorsports, and they're going to show us how to use Thermo Tec's Thermo-Guard installation padding underneath the Brothers carpet kit. So we picked up a carpet kit from Brothers Truck Parts to go along with the Thermo-Guard, which, as you can see, one side has a foil backing and the other side has a sound backing. So our first step was to lay out the carpet kit itself before applying any glue. Here you can see Alfredo fitting the kit to make sure that everything will fit into the truck without any trimming. Now the next thing is for him to lay out the Thermo-Guard and do the exact same thing, making sure that we have enough coverage to suit the whole entire floor. Now Alfredo's laying down glue on the foil side of the Thermo-Guard, only covering half of the full piece. With the glue side up, he's able to adjust the carpet padding to ensure that it'll fit nice and tight. Now it's time to put some glue down on the sound deadener so the glue from the carpet padding will match in place. Now flipping over the material to where both glues meet each other, he's able to firmly stick it into place. He carefully stretches out and tucks all of the material down, assuring that the glue keeps everything stuck into place. With a little help from Arturo, both of these guys are knocking out this kit really fast. Okay, now we've got the Thermo-Guard carpet padding down and we're going to move on to the carpet. Same process as before, he's going to spray glue onto the back side of the carpet and now glue onto the Thermo-Guard sound deaden side. The carpet kit goes into place loosely and both Alfredo and Arturo start to lay down the carpet. Here you can see where they're marking the threshold plates. After they mark the threshold plates, they go ahead and pat down the carpet area until every piece of the carpet is fit firmly into place. The use of a roller helps you out when you try to get the wrinkles out and you end up having a really nice installed carpet kit. A tuck tool helps you put everything into the threshold so that way the plate will fit nice and even, and voila, you've got a beautiful looking carpet kit installed. So driving this thing around is just ridiculous. I mean, it is so hot in this thing, no matter when you drive it. I mean, right now it's 75 degrees out and I'm sweating driving this thing down the street. But it wouldn't even matter anyways. I mean, if it was 10 degrees outside, you'd still have to drive with the windows down just because there's so much heat coming off the floor. So I'm a little jealous of Tom right now because he's able to put on, first off, the suppressor mat, which is going to take care of all the inside noise and a lot of the shakes and rattles that you get in these trucks. I mean, even the doors will be protected, so the doors will sound like a real car when you shut the door. It won't sound like a tin can like this thing does. And then even too, putting down that heat barrier carpet padding is another great thing because the thing won't feel like you're driving around with your feet on fire all the time. So I guess the real thing to see is, does it really work and how long does it take? And we'll put the thing to the test.
Okay, so we got all of our Thermo Tec product put in. The sound deadening, the floor sealer in, it's the pad to help keep all the heat and everything out. Been driving around for a little bit. It's keeping it really nice and quiet. I can definitely tell immediately the sound deadening works amazing, keeping the road noise out nice and solid on the doors. Also the heat from the firewall. Most of you guys know the firewalls heat up pretty pretty hot on these. So with all of the heat protective padding on the bottom on the floor now, actually quite pleasant to drive around on a warm day. So we'll get her out after she's all detailed up and set to go and take a long drive and see how well everything works. But as far as I'm looking at it right now, Thermo Tec, 2 thumbs up. Really, really good product. Thank you very much.